Hello, my name is Matthias Cavaldi. I'd like to welcome you guys to my channel. Today we're going to talk about the Marvel versus DC crossover. And it was a really weird affair. It was very 90s in many aspects. I have Ron Mars credited as the writer with help from Peter David. We have two artists, Dan Jurgens and Claudio Castellini. What we're going to do is we're going to go through each one of the four issues, tell you guys what I liked, what I didn't like, and especially me being a Marvel fanboy, my personal experience reading this and getting like really pumped up seeing my favorite characters going toe to toe with the distinguished competition. And battles are pretty weird. They go in some interesting directions. Some victories, especially we're gonna get into the Wolverine versus Lobo. Like, I'm a big Wolverine fan, but over the years I discovered how powerful Lobo is, so that shouldn't have happened. And so without further ado, let's get into this. It's like the plot of the story. Obviously, it's not going to be super great. It's paper thin. Just the novelty of seeing our favorite characters going toe to toe. There's a lot of spectacle, and we start off with the clone Spider-Man, Ben Riley. We don't. That's the really curious thing. We don't actually have the real deal in this particular crossover. The story sort of revolves around the fact that the barriers between the dimensions that separate the Marvel and DC universe are sort of falling apart. We have like this bum that's taking care of this and nexus between these both of these realities, and this nexus is sort of falling apart. It's shooting people from one side to another, causing all types of trouble. Spider-Man is teleported into the DC universe. He ends up in Gotham, crosses paths with Joker, and it's sort of cool because Joker knows who Spider-Man is. They've known each other from a previous crossover, and since this is the Spider-Man clone, he has no idea who the Joker is. So that's a little like a nice nod to continuity between crossovers between both of these editorials. Then we get Juggernaut. He's battling against the X-Men. He's teleported to Metropolis. He's confronted by Superman, and sadly, we don't get to see a drawn-out battle between Juggernaut and Superman. That would have been awesome. We don't get that. That's sort of like a missed opportunity here. A big introduction of all the big hitters that we're gonna get in this story. So Superman, we have Captain America, Wonder Woman, Hulk. Here we have Professor Hulk during this time. This is Smart Hulk during the Peter David era. Superboy, and a lot of these DC characters, like I knew by name, and but I had no idea how their powers work, how their power levels, their power levels in general. Like, I had no idea. Superboy had like this tactile telekinesis. Sorry, Lobo, who this was the first time I ever saw this character, and I thought it was totally awesome. Again, had no idea he was so powerful. During this time, also Wolverine has his bone claws, so that's another good observation of continuity. Green Lantern, Elektra, Flash. This is a real weird era for Thor. Then we have Hook Hand, Aquaman, Silver Surfer, and everything actually sort of started because of a Silver Surfer and Green Lantern crossover. There's like what went down in that story sort of starts this whole situation. Captain Marvel, Shazam, Namor, Quicksilver, Catwoman. Bullseye's teleported into the Batcave. This is actually a real badass moment. It's pretty well written. He takes Robin as hostage. He has no idea where he is. We have a brief confrontation between Batman and Bullseye. Batman's able to take him down. And this part, it's really kick-ass. It's well written. Then at the Daily Planet, I don't remember Superman's boss, Perry. I can't remember the first name of that character. He's replaced with Jonah Jameson. So this leads to Superman having to work with Peter Parker, since both the respective new universes papers, being Spider-Man is a photographer and Superman a reporter. If I'm wrong, please correct me. And here they start to get at the newspapers start finding out about all these situations where all these characters are from different universes are crossing paths. So we have Superman going up against Steel, Green Lantern going against this particular incarnation of Green Goblin that had nothing to do with the Osborns. He was actually a hero. It was a really weird series. I think I have a couple of issues in my collection. Captain America versus Bane, Daredevil versus the Riddler. So they start talking about all these confrontations, but that some characters actually didn't battle at all and have become friends. We have Hawkman and Angel, Doctor Strange, and I have no idea who this character from DC is. She-Hulk and Superwoman. This is really cool. This would we need this crossover. Deathstroke versus Punisher. That would have been awesome. This is another missed opportunity. Seeing Batman going up against Venom, and we have the two big abstract entities trying to keep these universes apart. Something's pulling them together. I have no idea how this character is called. I know he's very important in the DC universe. Something Fate. I think it's Dr. Fate or something like that. The Living Tribunal. And what we discover is we have these like two big celestial type beings that both represent each other's dimensions. They're in conflict. They've always been in conflict since the beginning of existence. They put on this tournament, very much like the Collector does in the Marvel Universe. The one that comes out on top takes over the other universe or something like that. It's very paper thin, the whole idea. But we have a lot of fun. And also sets up the Amalgam universe. That was a really interesting experiment. And some of the one-shots that we get from that, because they fuse both the universes together, were actually pretty good. I traded them away, and that's one of my biggest mistakes I've ever done, because some of them were actually really awesome. At the end of issue number 1, we have basically a description of both characters from both sides, which are going to square off. This was great because I wasn't too familiar with the DC characters, so I would know their power levels and which way the battle would go. Here we have Superman versus Hulk. I never read Superman, but I always had the feeling that Superman would be able to take down Hulk. Captain America versus Batman. Personally, I would go with Captain America. Wonder Woman versus Storm. I had no idea again about her power level, so I was super into X-Men, so I really was gunning for Storm. Wolverine versus Lobo. Again, I thought Wolverine was going to win, but again, I had no idea how powerful Lobo was. Superboy versus Spider-Man. I thought if he's 1% as powerful as Superman, he was going to easily take down Spider-Man. So I'm going to leave this video here. Hope you guys liked it. Marvel versus DC. It's a lot of fun. It's really weird. It's very 90s. So I hope you guys like this video. See you guys next time. Bye.